If he asks for money, girl, you better run. You better run. You better run, girl. Not afraid to admit is that I have been lied to and taken advantage of by Jamaican men. Okay, more times than I would like to admit, but I'm going to admit it today. Okay, if you guys saw the story time that I did on my channel, it was a 3-part series where I told you guys the story of when I was dating a Jamaican scammer. So right there you see that I was lied to and taken advantage of. So one thing I want to say is that each time that something bad has happened to me while dating a Jamaican man, I got up, dusted myself off, and I learned from it. And all those experiences and things that have happened to me are why I'm able to speak with you guys today and let you know some tips so that you don't go through the things that I went through. So learn from my mistakes, right? Do not act like you're colorblind and ignore the red flags. Listen to what I'm telling you, take heed, and you'll be good to go in your long distance relationship. Okay? Now, a disclaimer that I want to put out there is that I am no way, shape, or form am I bashing Jamaican men. I love Jamaican men. I am the ambassador for Jamaican men. Okay? No, cut that part out. No, but honestly, the reason why I am harping on long distance relationship with Jamaican men is because that's where my experience lies. So I cannot give you experience, knowledge, tips on dating a man in Russia because I've never dated a man in Russia, right? So I can only talk about dating someone in Jamaica while you are abroad. Okay, so I have gone through this several times. I did a story time about being in a long distance relationship, and I am now married to a Jamaican man who we were in a long distance relationship. So I'm speaking on experience, and I'm just letting you guys know what I went through and some tips and tricks that I've had to learn the hard way. Okay, so hi, my name is Jada Brown Thompson, and let's get into the video. Okay, so let's start this video with a small scenario, right? So let's say you went on holiday to Jamaica and you met a nice guy named Damien. You and Damien had a great time while you were at your resort or your Airbnb. You guys went all over the island. You went to the beach, you went to the club, you went wherever you go to have fun, and now you've gotten Damien's number and it's time for you to go home, and you and Damien are texting, and you decide, you know what, I really like Damien, I want to take this relationship seriously. Okay, now let's pause the story, right? Because you may think, well, we're gonna get married, I'm gonna bring Damien over, we're gonna have a great life, and really and truly, you don't even know Damien. So let's pause that story, and you're gonna hear these tips and tricks that I have, and then you're gonna go forward, right? So the first thing that I wanna say is that everything is fun on vacation, okay? It's not a real life. It's fun, you're having the best time of your life. You pay to get away from the stressors of your regular life, and now you're here on this beautiful island. You met this beautiful man. Please watch how Stella got her groove back, and you will understand that not every time that you're in paradise is that you're gonna have paradise when you're back home. No, okay? So you continue to talk to Damien, and you decide that you want to come back to Jamaica. The first thing that I'm going to say is that you need to understand that everything is fun on holiday, but you really do not know this man, right? You don't know the layout of Jamaica. You don't know if this person is a bad guy and he has enemies there and they want to kill him, and now they're going to kill you too because you're with him. You don't know if he has baby mamas that can fight and you can't, and now they want to fight you and you don't even know these people. You don't know anything about him. So I would say the next time that you come to Jamaica and you're coming to get to know this person, you want to book a hotel. right? And the reason why I say book a hotel is because usually hotels are safer, in my opinion, than an Airbnb, right? Because it's usually way more people who work there. Number one, they have the hotel staff, the restaurant staff, the lifeguards, the housekeepers, people who are around and are cognizant of what's going on. And then you have other guests as well. And most hotels are either in one building, right, like in a mid-rise or high-rise, or they're garden style where you have someone that's next to you. You have a house cleaner that comes in every day and cleans up. You know, people who are there who can say, wait a minute, we haven't seen this lady come back, or they're there in case you need to run out in the hall and scream, help, help, help. And hopefully that doesn't happen to you, God willing, but at the same time, you have to take safety and precautions in mind. And that's why I say the first few times that you meet somebody, make sure that you're in a hotel. And then if you continue to date him or her and you decide that they're a good person and you decide that you want an Airbnb for more privacy, then by all means book the Airbnb. But I would say the first few times, while you're still getting to decide if you like this person, book the hotel. Okay? My second tip to you, which I've kind of touched on already, is to be extremely cautious. You do not know this person, okay? You do not know the type of friends that he has, who he affiliates with, who he doesn't affiliate with, if those are dangerous people. And you're going all up and down the island with this person, and you never know if he's like in some type of organized crime and now you're a target. So you definitely want to make sure that you're being cautious when you're in Jamaica, because I can tell you there has been times where I was not cautious and I found myself in some sticky situations that only God himself could take me out of because I didn't exercise caution. And sometimes I have to laugh about how much I used to play with my life because I just wanted to have fun. So don't be like Jada Brown Thompson. Like, did not do that, okay? Don't do that. All right, so my third tip that I have for you guys is to, how am I gonna word this so I don't sound snobbish? I'm just gonna say it. Look for someone with a job, a business, or something to lose. Okay. I don't want to sound like a snob, okay? But if your standards are a certain way where you live, whether the US, the UK, Canada, wherever you're coming from, if your standards are set at this level, do not go to Jamaica and set it down here, right? So your standards are here and then you go to Jamaica and you put them down here. Do not do that, okay? Look for somebody that has the qualities that you would look for if you were in your home country. So what I mean by that is if you say, I want somebody who has a job or a business, and then you go to Jamaica and you take a man and all he does is this, and he stands on the corner all day, and you say, oh, well, no, it's Jamaica, it's a third world country. No, they have jobs in Jamaica. They have people with careers, just like they have jobs in America, and then they also have thugs who hang on the street. It's the same thing. You can go on any corner in America and you will see people sitting there smoking, doing whatever, standing in front of the store, and you will walk right past them in your home country and say, man, they need to get a job. Look how healthy this person is. They need to get a job. But then when you go to Jamaica, I don't understand this. Then you go to Jamaica and you see the boy on the bicycle digging out his hand metal, smoking all day, living at his mother's house, whatever, and you say, oh yes, that's fine, this is my husband, and you accept him because it's Jamaica. Why? Is it because you can have fun when you're in Jamaica and it's like fun, but it's not fun when you're in the US or the UK or Canada and you have to pay bills? No. So if you're going to take somebody serious in Jamaica, they need to be on the same caliber that you're on, right? You need to make sure that they have something to lose, because you probably have things to lose. So for example, with my husband, before he came up, my husband did not even want to come to America. Like, I had to force him to say, let's come here, and he still wants to go back home. But he was a teacher, right? He had his degree, he had a farm, he had a house, he was building another house, so he had things to lose. So me coming into his life was not a come up for him. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't for him to say, oh, this girl has a job, let me see if I could build a house now. Like, he was already doing that. So me coming into his life was not like a using thing, but instead like, I actually really like you, and let's see where we can go with this. And if it doesn't work out, I'm fine, because I don't have a foreign mindset where I want to come abroad. I'm just dating you because I like you, I think you're attractive, I think you're smart, let's see where this is going, right? So you definitely do not want to pick up a guy who has nothing to lose, and everything to him is like seeing you as a dollar bill, cha-ching, ching-ching. Every time you talk, you're talking like this, and all he hears is cha-ching, 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 ching, 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 right? You don't want that. So make sure you get somebody who has something going for themselves, okay? The next thing that I want to say, the next tip that I have for you guys is to see how they introduce you to their family and friends, right? And going into that is understanding the culture of Jamaica. Jamaica is a place where everybody kind of knows everybody because it's a small island. And not only that, a lot of people are, I don't know how to say this without saying it, but people can be kind of nosy, right? So if he takes great care to consistently hide you from the closest people to him, that is a huge red flag, okay? Now, when you're first dating somebody, you don't introduce them to your mother, right? Because you have to take the time to know if they are up to your standard, to know if they need to meet your parents, right? Or meet your loved ones. But if you've been dating this person for a long time and you're strongly considering them as a potential spouse, husband, wife, whatever it is, and you never met his family, you never met his mother, you never met nobody but his friends on the ends, if you never met any of his like close loved ones, then he may not like you like that, or he like has someone already, okay? And this has happened to me where a man that I was dating, who I thought I was dating, already had a girlfriend in Jamaica who was in on the scam, right? And basically was allowing him to pretend to date me because they wanted to come up off of me, right? So be careful, because things like that really do happen, and you have to be mindful of these things and protect your own self-interest. So the point is, see how they move around friends and family. See if they want to include you. If you're coming in every couple months or every month and you never met his parents, you never met his sisters, his brothers, nobody but his dirty friends, then you need to be cognizant of that. Okay? The next tip that I have for you is find out if he's traveled before. Okay? And when I say travel, I mean somewhere outside of Jamaica, okay? Has he traveled? Has he been on a plane? Has he gone anywhere else? Has he traveled to Mexico? Has he gone to Panama? It doesn't have to be one of those like first world countries, but just seeing if he's been able to expand his horizons. And I know every person in Jamaica is not going to be able to travel freely. Even if they have a passport and they can go other places, it doesn't mean that they've had the opportunity. Maybe it's financial, so I understand that. But for the most part, has he been on farm work? Was he a J1 student? Did he come over here to work for a little bit and go back? See if he's traveled before, right? And the reason why I say this is because when you travel, it opens your mind, it expands your horizons, and you're able to see places and people that you've never seen before. So you have more of an understanding of life itself, experiences, and then he will also know that just because I'm spending money here on holiday, it's rough all over the world. Inflation has all of us in a chokehold, right? So just because I am in America and I work here doesn't mean that I have money. I'm probably just as broke, if not broker, than somebody in Jamaica, right? So if he's traveled before, he probably has more of an understanding of how the world works, and it would be easier to integrate into each other's lifestyle, because he may understand you, you may understand him, because you're traveling to Jamaica. And I really think that traveling just opens up your world to understand that there's more than just where you are, and understand that life is hard in every country right now, to be honest. If he asks for money, girl, you better run. You better run. You better run, girl. You better be like, what's her name? Shelly Ann Fraser and Sha'Carri and Usain Bolt and all these people, and you better sprint. I swear, you better run. Run. Okay? Now, I know what happens to a lot of women who are considered passport girls and they travel or whatever, and they meet this guy. That first interaction that you may have, you may be spending your money because you're on vacation and you want to have a good time, and so you're spending money because that's what you do on vacation, and you don't feel bad because you're having a good time. And so this guy may latch on to you if he's a user because you're spending your money, right? But then it continues. And somebody told me this before when I was going to Jamaica so frequently. They were like, once you start spending your money, you'll never be able to stop. And that really clicked in my head, that let me not go there and just spend because I think they don't have any money, or I'm just having fun. Because once you start, you cannot stop. And if you start the relationship off with you spending your money, girl, you're going to be spending your money every single time. And you don't want that. Because in my opinion, and you may be different, I feel like men are supposed to, as my mom would always say, provide, protect, and profess their love for you, right? And yes, I understand that Jamaica is hard, but shoot, the US is hard, Canada is hard, everywhere is hard. So why is it that if I have to pay my money to travel here, pay my money for the hotel or the Airbnb, pay money for a car rental, and then I have to give you money on top of it? Like, I am not trying to buy love, neither are you. They're not gigolos, right? You're not like trying to buy affection. So no, you don't need to be spending your money all the time. And then on top of it, if Jamaica is hard and they don't have the money, but they still rate you, they still care about you, then there's so many things that you can do for free or for low cost that don't cost any money. For instance, you can go to the beach. There's an abundance of beaches in Jamaica. You can go to the river. You can watch a movie, because it's not really so much about spending money, but about spending the time with a person who says that they care about you, they rate you, they love you, whatever. So if they come to you and say, okay, babes, I really don't have the money, but I want to see you, I want to, do these things, then you can say, all right, I don't really care about those things. Let's just do other things that are low cost. And then they still come back to you and they say, oh no, let's go to, I don't know, this top restaurant. Let's go buy Clark's. Let's go buy this and that. And you already told them that you don't care about that. Then it's a red flag that they're using you and they see you as a pocketbook where they can extort for whatever financial gain that they are looking for. So be cognizant of that. As an added bonus to this video, I will include a quick story time that of course is very embarrassing, because it will let you guys know that I was somewhat a man clown, but I will still share it because it's important for you guys to know that when it comes to like being used and stuff, I know I've been there, I've done that, so I'm gonna share it, right? So at this time, I was going to Jamaica a lot, right? And I met this guy who seemed to have it all together, had a business, was doing his thing, so he asked could he take me on the date. I said sure. So we go on the date. It's important for this story time to know that at the time of us going to the date, I had an event in Jamaica that went really well, right? Everything went good. Not gonna lie, I got a lot of support. And I had money in my pocket because I had just had this event, okay? He knew about the event. He came to the event. He bought drinks at the event, everything. So I didn't know that there was a correlation between him taking me on a date and that event. So anyway, we go to the restaurant. We went to Tracks and Records in Kingston. I don't remember what area of Kingston, but you guys know Usain Bolt's restaurant, that's in Kingston. So we went there. I think our tab came up to like 100. No, what am I talking about? It came up to like 13K, right? So he paid for everything. We get in the car. He's about to drop me back off to my Airbnb. He turns around and he says, oh, I know you just had the event, so you think you can let me hold 5K? And I said, I don't have any money to give you. Do you know that this guy grabbed my bag? Like, I swear to God, he grabbed my bag, took out my wallet, and was like trying to take money out of my wallet. So we're fighting for my wallet back and forth, pushing, shoving, pushing, shoving, pushing, shoving. And I'm like really fighting for my life because at this point, you're trying to rob me, right? And so we end up swerving because he was driving. We end up swerving on Constant Spring. Somewhere in Constant Spring, like, I know that it's like a bridge and it's water under, it's like a little gully. And we go over there by Constant Spring. I end up grabbing my money. I didn't even call the police. We're still fighting out there, right? Because like I said in another video, I can defend myself because one thing about my father, he taught me how to fight. So we're out there fighting and he's really trying to like rob me. And somebody sees this and calls the police. The police come and the police helps me, gives me my money, and puts me in their truck, right? And takes me back to my Airbnb. So my point is don't be like me. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the company that you keep. Be aware of your value and don't let anybody use you. Just because you may have a few dollars in your pocket doesn't mean that you need to give it to somebody else, because it's hard to get money. It's hard to make money, and it's even harder to keep it. So do not give your money to some random guy, okay? If he asks you for money, girl, just like I went to Tracks and Records, I should have ran like Usain Bolt. So make sure that you run, like, for real. Do not give your money to anybody. I don't care what kind of sob story they have. Don't give up your money. I swear. Do not give up your money. Alright? So, yeah, and that's the next thing. Use your woman's intuition and do your research. I said in the story time that I did about the Jamaican scammer that he said he did Airbnb. He said that he had a liquor store. He said he did all these things, and I did not fact check any of it. Not a thing. I didn't fact check nothing. Right? I didn't say, let me see the liquor store. I didn't say, take me to your Airbnbs. I didn't say none of that, because I'm the type of person that if you say, Ray, I believe it. Right? If you say, I have this, I believe you. Right? So I never fact checked. But make sure that you do your research. And if something does not feel right, then I can promise you it's not right. During the time that I was dating this scammer, there would be many times where I just burst out crying whenever he would come around me. And it's not that I was sad, but it was my own body and probably God warning me that this person is not who they say they are, right? And I was ignoring those signs. I would always feel uneasy. If he would, like, you know, if you have your back to somebody, if he would sneak up on me too fast, I would want to fight, right? So that's my body telling me those fight or flight reflexes where you want to get out of the space because you don't feel safe. And that's your body telling you, like, I'm not okay. I feel like I'm in danger, right? And I was ignoring those things. I was ignoring those things because I don't know. What was I ignoring those things? I guess because I'm dumb. I don't really know. I don't know why I was ignoring it, but I was ignoring it. So you don't ignore it. If your intuition, ladies, is telling you that this is not right, then you better do your research and figure out why you are feeling this way. Because 9 times out of 10, you're probably right. And it's something shady going on. Okay? And then my next tip is to assess if you even like him. Assess if you even like him. Alright? When you're on holiday, when you're on vacation, Jamaica, and I will say it again, is intoxicating. Alright? It's easy to get caught up in the allure of Jamaica. I hate to say the accent, because it's only accent if you're not familiar with it, but the way that people speak there, I personally love it. I know some people don't like the accent, but I personally love the accent. So they're saying all these things to you in this accent, and they have a certain appeal of them. The men in Jamaica are very masculine, which I don't know why, but a lot of the men in the US are not as masculine as the men there. They're strong, they're patriarchal, they're very sweet, they can cook. The men in Jamaica, chef's kiss, alright? But that doesn't mean that the man that you met there is going to be your soulmate. You may not even like him. Once the holiday has worn off, and let's say he migrates with you, and you really get in a room with him, and you say, you know what? I don't even like your ass. Like, I don't even like you. You're not funny. After it's all the allure has worn off, you're like, you know what? Mother clucker, you're not even smart. You're not attractive. You're annoying. You ignore my feelings. You're a pessimist. Like, you're all the things that I do not even like in a man. But because I was on holiday tossing back pina coladas or whatever you drink, Mai Tais, I don't know, you may say, I really like him, and really and truly you don't even like him. So my point is to assess if you like him, assess if he fits into your life, assess if he will fit into your future life. Look at all those things, because you may not even like him. And you both feel like it is right for you to continue the relationship and maybe even grow to get married or whatever that case may be. Do not listen to people who are negative on social media and say, oh, why would you date somebody there? He just wants a green card, all these things. That is not always true. If that person is somebody that you love and you know that they're not foreign-minded, then yeah, do what you have to do, right? What is a green card? What's the difference between a green card and a blue card? That it's not that big of a deal. So if you feel like that is right for your life and you want to move forward with somebody and that's what you guys plan for your life, then fine. But make sure that you follow the tips and tricks that I've given you in this video, and I can guarantee you will probably find a good man out there. Okay? So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, okay? And please comment down below if you think I just said a whole bunch of foolishness, or if you agree with some of the points that I made. So anyway guys, I will see you in my next video.